Today we'll be working on section 4.5, and that is multiplying two-digit numbers. Now, we have done this in the past with some partial products and with our multiplying by place value or our multiples of 10, 20, or 10, 100, and 1000. Today we're really going to be focused on setting up more of a standard multiplication form where we are setting it up in how you will see problems most presented to you. Okay, so we're going to start off, we're going to take a look at, let's do the problem 24 times 2. Now, this is how most problems will be presented to you when you're working with multiplication. They'll be set up in this standard form where they are on top of each other. You'll notice that my ones place is lined up, my tens place would be lined up if I had another one, but it is very clearly written and written out just like that. Okay? Now, what we're going to do with this is just like with addition, we're going to start with our ones place. We're going to do that multiplication first. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I like to draw these lines so I know what I've multiplied. So I'm going to connect kind of these 2 and 4. And what that's telling me is I'm going to do 2 times 4. All right? Using my multiplication helper to help me with this if I need it. If you are someone that is going to use that, go ahead and pause the video and go grab it right now. If you've been practicing your facts, you're starting to get pretty quick with them. This is one that you probably have down and memorized, and you know that 4 times 2 is 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 times 2 is 8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that right below my ones here. Because what this is saying is that I have 2 groups of 4 and they're my ones. All right. Now, my next step here. I've multiplied these 2 numbers. I need to now multiply my 2 and my 2. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that over here again to show you this is 2 times. Now this 2 is not actually a 2. Okay, what this is this is a 2 in the tens place, which makes it a 20. So we're going to have 2 times 20. All right, now this should look very familiar because we've worked with this before with that 0. I can do 2 times 2, and that's a fact that I'm going to know. Then I can add my 0 in later. So when I do 2 times 2, I know that I'm going to end up with 4. And then I need to add my 0 in. Now, here is where this form works very well. I do not need to write out 40. What I can do is I know that that 0 would line up right here. And because it is a 0 and I'm multiplying tens here, I'm going to have nothing in that ones place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually write that right directly below my tens place, just that 4. Okay? And now you'll notice that I've completed here and I have my 24 times 2. I've multiplied both, the 2 times 4 and the 2 times 2. And I ended up with 48. Okay? And I was able to actually check this. If you look over here, this is my partial products. If I did 2 times 4, again, breaking this number down into my expanded form of 20 and 4, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 20 is 40. So that was a check right there that I can see. If I added these together, I'd end up with the same number. Here we have a new problem. We're going to work through this the same way we did before. So you'll see again it's set up in kind of the standard form. You've seen addition problems like this. You'll start to see multiplication problems set up this way as well. So now I have 23 times 3. All right. So I have 23 times 3. What I'm going to do again is I'm going to break it down and multiply each part separately. So I'm going to start, and again I like to draw these lines just so I can see that. I'm going to start with 3 times 3. So again I'll write that over here, 3 times 3. Okay, when I do 3 times 3 now, that is a fact that I have worked through before. I've seen this in my extra math. I've been practicing my facts at home. So I know that 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and again, what you're going to do is you're going to line that up because this is 3 groups of 3 ones because this is in the ones place. So I'm going to line that up right below the ones. I have a 9, so I can put a 9 right below the ones there. All right, now I've finished my ones. Because this is a 2-digit number, now I need to go beyond that. And now I'm going to take my next part here of 3 times 2. So I'm going to write that over here, 3 times 2. Now, here's what I know about place values, that this, while it is a 2, it does not represent a 2. Being that this is the ones place, my 3 represented a 3. This is the tens place, so my 2 is actually representing 2 tens, or 20. So again, I'm going to have my 3 times 20. I've worked with these before. I take 3 times 2. I know that that is 6. And then I need to add my 0 over. So I add my 0. All right. And over here, I get to save that step by just lining up my 6, because it's 6 tens, in the tens place, and I get to just put my 6 right there. So now I've reached my answer. I see that I've multiplied both. I've done 3 times 3 and 3 times 2, or 3 times 20. And I've ended up with 69 as my answer. I have my expanded form over here that I can check that right away, and I can see that I have 3 times 3 and 3 times 20. And then if I add them together, 60 plus 9 would be 69. Another way I can check it is by using my base 10 block strategy. So my base 10 block strategy was, I have 3 groups of 23. So I can do my longs. I got 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, and 10, 20, 1, 2, 3. This would again be those 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, and in each one I have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. That would be my 23. And now I can go in and check that math. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, counting up my ones place first. So I'd have a 9 in the ones place. And now I can check my tens. How many tens do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 tens, or 60. And I'll get the same answer. So I have multiple ways to check this. All right, let's work through one more problem. All right, the last one we're going to work through here together before you have a chance to practice this on your own is going to be 41 times 2. So again, you'll notice I'm always lining them up the same. This is my standard form for a multiplication problem. You've seen this with addition before. You've seen this with subtraction. We're always making sure that our place values line up. So I have my 1s here. My 1 and my 2 line up very nicely. And then I have my 4 lined up with what would be my 10s. I don't have a 10 there right now, so I'm just going to leave that blank. But we have them separate, and they are clearly lined up where they're matching up. We have our place values correct. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my 1s, just like I would start with my 1s in an addition problem or a subtraction problem. I'm going to start with that 1s place. So draw my line here. I know that I'm taking 2 times 1, and a 1 in the 1s is just worth 1. Okay? Working on my identitive property of multiplication, I know that 2 times 1 is going to be 2. And because that is in my 2 in my 1's place, I'll write that directly below here. All right, now I'm going to move on to my next part. I've finished my 1's. I can see that by my line, and my 2 is down below. Now I'm going to need to multiply my 2 by my 10's place. So I have 2 times, I have a 4. Now my 4 is in the tens place, so that does not represent 4. It represents 4 tens, or 4D. So I have 2 times 40. Now again, I've practiced this before with my with my place value multiplication, multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands. I know that I can simply cover this 0 up and take 2 times 4. That's one of those facts that I practice. 2 times 4 is 8. And now I need to just match my zeros, or bring that back, because this is not 8. This is 8 tens, because it was multiplied by 40. So 8 tens would be 80. And now I can write that down over here as well. And again, I'm lining it directly up with my tens place, because this is an 8 in the tens place, or otherwise known as 80. Again, you can see my expanded form I've already written over here. And this is a great way to check. 41 broken down into expanded form would be 40 plus 1. And that's what I did over here. I did 2 times 1 and 2 times 40. So I was able to check that right there. And if I go in and add this, I know that 80 plus 2 would be 82. So I got the same answer, so that I know I'm correct with my work. Take your time. You'll be working on our independent practice pages for this. Work through the problems. Be sure to check your answers through either expanded form. You may use the area model, or you can use an round and estimate to get close if you know you are close to your answer. Work through all of the problems carefully. If you are struggling at all, come back to this video, watch it again for more examples. Otherwise, join your teacher's office hours.